it's me, Ribbity, and welcome to the second episode of my Story Speed Build Sundays. If you haven't already checked out the first one, I would definitely go do that. We built a bakery that was very Nifty Knitting inspired, so it was very colourful and very happy. And at the same time, I told you at the time I was attacked by monkeys. So it was a bit of a fun episode. This episode is going to be a little bit different though. I asked on Twitter if you guys wanted me to do another bright, happy build or if I should do something darker. And you guys picked darker. So here we are doing a kind of a Victorian sort of inspired build. When I started, I didn't really know what I was going for. I just knew I wanted a tower because in the first episode of my Story Speed Build Sunday series, I built with a tower, and I'd never used a tower before in any of my builds, so now I'm just kind of on like a tower hype thing, so get ready for there being towers in all my builds now. But yeah, I knew I wanted to have a tower, so that's basically my inspiration, and then I just kind of played around and we got there eventually, and I really like the way it's turned out. But it is Story Speed Build Sunday, so the story I'm going to be telling you guys today is about a bunker that is just up the road from me. It's not even a minute's walk up the road from my house. And it actually started, I must have been about a year ago. My dad had brought it up. I don't know what we were talking about, but he brought it up being like, oh, remember that bunker that you found up in the adventure playground? And I was like, no, I don't remember that. What? There's a bunker? And yeah, he told me about when I must have been about 12 or something. I was up in the forest playing with my friends and I found it and I showed him it. And you could get right inside it at the time. I mean, I don't really remember this at all. But I said, okay, well, when I come back up home, show me it. I really want to see it. This is so cool, so interesting. And when I came home a few weeks later, we went up to go see it. Now I live in a little village, and about a minute's walk up the road, there's the forest, and it's on a big hill. But just inside the forest, there's what we call the adventure playground, and it's got like a zip line and a bunch of like logs and frameworks and little bridges and that, like a little kids obstacle course sort of thing. And that is quite spread out, and there's like groups of trees in between all the obstacle course bits. And we went up there, and it was just next to the zip line. And there was a group of trees, and we went inside the trees, and there's this big mound, like a big mound. I'm talking like maybe 5 square meters. And my dad was like, well, you're standing on it right now. And that was really freaky to think. Like, the big mound I was standing on was a bunker. That was really creepy. But then he showed me the little entranceway, which was basically completely covered up, so we dug it out. Probably not, like, I don't know, we probably weren't allowed to do that, but we did it. Anyway, we dug it out, and there was a big metal sheet that was, like, wedged in the entrance of it. So my dad, he managed to pull it out, and then you could just see down the entranceway, and it was like this kind of like a shaft. And we shone the torch in, and we couldn't see the bottom of it. It was just pitch black, and that was so creepy. Like, I felt really freaked out, but like in a good way, because I love this sort of creepy, spooky stuff. Like, I absolutely love it. So I was having a great time, but I was like just really freaked out. And we then covered it all up because, like I say, it was in a kids' playground. So that, for one, that's going to be something I'll talk about in a minute. This is really questionable. But we went away, and a couple weeks later we came back to see it, and it had been dug up again. And the metal sheet that we'd put back in the doorway, we couldn't find. It wasn't nowhere. It wasn't even like it had just been pulled out and sat on the side. Like, it was gone. And the entrance was just all dug out. You could see straight into it. And that was really freaky. Like, who came along and totally dug it up and just left it like that? That was really weird. But my dad, he actually went and spoke to a bunch of the locals, because in the village we live in, there's loads of people that have lived here. Like, their family's been here for generations upon generations, and there's several people here that were like signal women during the war and stuff. So my dad spoke to quite a few of them, and we also have the tourist information here, who they have all the archives on the history of this town. And he spoke to people at the tourist information, and they said they didn't know what he was talking about. which I find really weird because they have all the history on everything, of maps and everything like that, but they said they went away and a few days later they came back and they just said they didn't know anything. Not sure if they're telling the truth. I don't know. And then he also spoke to a bunch of the people, like I say, that were the signal women during the war, and none of them knew what we were talking about. So nobody knows about this bunker. And I did a lot of Googling, as you do, and I found there is a nuclear bunker at one of the farms in the village, but the one that we found, there's no evidence of it online. There's nothing. So I just think it's really weird because the adventure playground was like a big thing when it was made. Like, it was opened by Billy Connolly and stuff. It was a big project. So they would have found it when they were building the adventure playground. So I just think that's really weird that nobody claims to know anything about it. Like, I don't know whether they do and they're just not saying, but then why wouldn't they say it if we found it? Like, I don't understand the big problem with that. So I don't know. That's strange. And it's a big structure. Like, it was obviously made for a purpose. It's not just like a little, I don't know, hole that's been dug in, like a little shell in there or something. It's like a proper purpose-built bunker. So I don't know. I have a lot of questions about it. It's really creepy. And I have always said, like, because the adventure playground where it is, you can walk through it and you can go up through the woods up the hill, and then we have an old military road that goes up the top of the village and out into the hills. So I'd walk the dogs up there all the time, and I would sometimes go through the adventure playground to get into the woods behind. But I've always said, when I'm in the adventure playground, I just feel like I'm being watched. Like, I get a really, like, creeped out feeling when I'm there. And now that I know about the bunker, I just feel like that adds to it, and like, I can't help but think, like, oh my god, it's the bunker that's giving me that feeling. Like I said, I love creepy stuff. So a part of me's not sure if my mind's just making all this stuff like so much more dramatic than it actually is. Or if it is weird, but nobody knows about this damn bunker. Like, I think that's weird. But yeah, I don't know. It seems really strange that nobody claims to know anything about it when it's so. I mean, yeah, you have to go into a little, like, group of trees to see it, but like I say, when they built the adventure, I'm sure they would have uncovered it. And also, who dug it up and just left it open? Like, not long after we found it for the first time. It hadn't been touched when we found it. Like, it looked like it had been like that for so long. There was moss and everything, that none of it had been messed up. So how come, like, we hadn't told anyone at that point? So why were people suddenly digging it up? I don't know. It all seems a little bit fishy and a little bit freaky. And I feel like there's something bigger going on, but I think that's just because I want there to be something bigger and it's like exciting and scary and like some big conspiracy or something. But it does seem that way. I'm not crazy. But I don't know. Maybe I am. I don't know. I'm just always thinking about it. And I'm sitting in my house right now and I'm just thinking, I can imagine it up in the woods there, and it's just quiet. There's no one about, and like, oh, it's just so eerie. Oh my god. I love it, but I hate it. But yeah, I guess that's it. It was a bit of a ramble about the bunker. It wasn't really a story, I guess. But yeah, what do you guys think about that? Do you think I'm crazy? Do you think I'm just being totally over dramatic? Because I might be. But also, do you think that what I'm saying makes sense? That it is weird that there's this big structure and nobody knows about it or nobody's talking about it? Like, do you think the locals are hiding something with some big mystery, and like maybe it's over but like nobody's talking about it? I don't know. Or do you think I'm just straight up crazy and I'm being just so over dramatic and I should just stop? Let me know what you think. I mean, hopefully you think I'm telling the truth in the sense that there is something fishy going on and you believe me, because then that'll make me feel a little bit better, because I feel like I'm losing it just a little bit. But yeah, let me know what you think about that. I would love to know your opinions. Maybe some of you know more about bunkers. Like, I don't know if it's related to World War II or not. Like I said, we had that nuclear bunker. So I don't know if this one's got anything to do with it. If you have any knowledge on anything like that, like maybe you'll know more than I do. Let me know. But yeah, I guess that is all I've got to say on the bunker. Oh, I just keep thinking about it now. Right, okay, anyway, let's just move on, otherwise I'm going to freak myself out more. Because I'm home alone right now, and I don't really want to be thinking about that bunker. Okay, so the build, as you've seen, I went for a little bit more of a mysterious, darker sort of vibe. And I actually, when I was building this, I could totally imagine, like the family in like Nanny McPhee or something living here, you know, where there's just loads of random kids running about. I think that's quite cool. I like that idea of it. But yeah, I've never built a house like this before or furnished in this way before. So it was a bit of an experience to try. And like I said a million times, I have so much fun trying things that I haven't before in the sense of furnishing and stuff like that. So it definitely was fun to do. Although I just feel like the place is so dark, but I know that old houses are dark like that unless they've been renovated. So it's not really my style because I like bright and airy and stuff. But yeah, I did have a lot of fun with it. And I actually like that it's on a smaller lot. I did think about moving it and doing like a big garden. But I quite like the idea of it just being on the small plot and just having a little bit outdoor space. And also the upstairs, I feel like I really wasn't sure what to do with that room upstairs, but I thought, well, we're in, what is it, Forgotten Hollow or something that comes with Realm of Magic. We're here, so why don't I just make a magic room? So I do that, and I think it's a cool room in that, but it could also be a really cool bedroom. Like, I could imagine a teen up there by themselves or something like that. It'd be pretty cool. Or some other sort of activity room. I don't know, but there's lots of spaces for the families to hang out or for them to entertain, depending on what way you want to go. I also didn't clutter the place up too much because recently my laptop, like I have a good laptop and it's always managed, I mean, touch wood, it's always managed to run The Sims fine. But recently, I don't know if it's because I have so many programs now for recording and editing and all this stuff, it's just starting to drain my laptop a little bit. It's not been the best when I have a busy lot. So if I have a smaller house, I'm fine to put loads of clutter and everything in because it's a smaller lot. But this one, because it's a little bit bigger of a house, I couldn't add too much to it. So that's why I haven't. You might think it looks just maybe a little bit bare in some places, but that's why. I still think overall it looks good and it looks lived in and all this sort of stuff. But that's something I'm gonna have to be quite cautious with now. So I'm a bit nervous because I can't afford to get a new computer of any kind. So, fingers crossed my laptop is okay and it's just going through a phase. But we'll see how that goes. Anyway, I think I'm going to leave you guys here. If you enjoyed this video and if you're enjoying the series, just make sure you're subscribed because there'll be plenty more videos to come. And if you did enjoy this video, I would love if you could click the like button. It just tells me that you guys are enjoying the series and that I'm doing this right, basically, that you just want to see more. Because I'm having a lot of fun. I hope you guys are having fun. And there'll be screenshots just in a minute. So I will see you all very, very soon. Bye-bye.